This is the brand new Pixel 9a, and it costs $499. But for $300 more, you could get the regular Pixel 9. From a design standpoint though, these phones look kind of alike, but I'm not convinced the Pixel 9 justifies the price bump. I mean, seriously, with today's tariffs and economic uncertainty, saving $300 is a big deal. But here's the twist. The Pixel 9a has something I've been dreaming about for years, or at least bringing back, and that's a flat back. I mean, no more awkward rocking on a desk when you tap the screen. It just lies there peacefully like a chilled out yoga master. The Pixel 9, on the other hand, may not wobble, but it does leave a gap between the phone and table. But the 9a, man, it just sits. And it looks clean too. I've been seeing people on Twitter saying the 9a looks cheap, and honestly, I couldn't disagree more. The matte finish is slick, it's minimal, and low-key premium. It's like the phone equivalent of wearing all black with confidence. Now the Pixel 9 is a bit lighter, while the Pixel 9a is a tad thicker, and that's because it has a bigger battery at 5100 milliamp hours. In fact, it has the biggest battery out of the entire Pixel 9 lineup, even bigger than the Pixel 9 Pro XL. I got about a day and a half of use comfortably. The regular Pixel 9 makes it through the day, but it doesn't leave you with that "I'm good until tomorrow" confidence. Look, I'll take a bit more thickness for more battery any day of the week. Both phones feel refined, have the same layout for buttons. You have the speaker on the bottom, USB-C port, and a SIM card slot. And the fact the 9a is $300 cheaper while still rocking the same Tensor G4 as the Pixel 9 and even the more expensive Pixel 9 Pro is kind of wild to me. Both are IP68 water resistant. The main hardware differences are glass quality. Gorilla Glass 3 on the 9a versus Victus 2 on the 9, Wi-Fi 6E versus Wi-Fi 7, and 8 gigabytes of RAM compared to 12. But guess what? In daily use, you're not gonna notice. Like, don't get me wrong, Pixel phones have never been the best for playing the latest games at max settings, but they can handle it just fine. When it comes to everyday stuff though, they both feel equal. The bezels on the 9a are slightly thicker, but not enough to trigger my inner screen snob. Same 6.3-inch OLED display, same resolution at 1080p, and same peak brightness at 2700 nits. The only hiccup, the 9a's adaptive brightness, is, let's just say, it's a little moody. Sometimes it dims way too much. You might just want to set it to manual and move on with your life. And both phones don't have a LTPO panel, at least from 1 to 120. It can only shift between 60 Hz and 120 Hz. Now the cameras, the front-facing cameras are a bit different. 13 megapixels on the 9a versus 10.5 on the 9. Sounds like an upgrade, right? But in reality, I'm just not buying it. The results were super similar. Sometimes the 9 does slightly better with skin tones and cutouts, but it's close. They both can shoot 4K 30, but only the 9 can do 4K 60 with the selfie cam. A nice bonus, but probably not a deal breaker. All right, now you are looking at the front-facing cameras of the Pixel 9 and the Pixel 9a. These are both shooting at 4K. You do have more options with the Pixel 9, like you can shoot at 4K 60, whereas with the Pixel 9a, you cannot. But yeah, you guys let me know which one's handling the sun on my face better. Obviously, let me know which microphones sound better. Now the rear cameras are where things get a little bit different. The 9a has a 48 megapixel main and a 13 megapixel ultra-wide lens. The Pixel 9 steps that up to 50 megapixel main and 48 megapixel ultra-wide. I found the Pixel 9 to have slightly better sharpness and contrast and slightly more appealing images. But again, we're splitting hairs. Most of the differences come down to Google's software magic anyway. I mean, Google could literally use an 8 megapixel camera and still get similar results with their computational photography. Even nighttime shots are neck and neck, and unless you're pixel peeping like a CSI lab tech, it's tough to justify the 9 just on camera performance alone. Video, the Pixel 9 gives you more options, 4K, 24, 30, and 60 FPS. The 9a skips the 24 FPS cinematic mode, but both handle 30 and 60 just fine. Also, if it's important to you, the Pixel 9a doesn't have action pan or blur mode, while the Pixel 9 does. And if you're into macro photography, the 9a can kind of do it, but not nearly as well as the 9. Performance-wise, identical, same chip, and again, the RAM difference only matters if you're multitasking like a beast or planning to keep your phone until AI takes over. For most people, these phones feel exactly the same. Smooth, snappy, and Gemini powered. Yep, both have access to all the latest AI features like Magic Eraser, AI summaries, and its newer screenshot analysis feature, which is only available with Gemini Advanced.
That's a Razer Blade 15. Do you have any questions about it?
As for speakers, both have stereo speakers. I'll let you be the judge. I'll run a sound test, and you can decide which one sounds better in the comments. So here's the verdict. For $499, the Pixel 8 is kind of a steal. Great design, top-tier performance, excellent battery life, and cameras that are more than good enough for 99% of users. Is the Pixel 9 worth $300 more? Absolutely not. Maybe $50 to $75 more, sure, but $300? Save your money and grab the 9A instead, especially since both of these phones get the same 7 years of updates, which is huge. Now, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, sub if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.